And welcome to this Divine Partnership Coaching video. This is going to be Path of the Emperor, Step 10. And I'm going to talk about the big C word, commitment. Also, cycles. And I want you to calm your beating heart, because I know masculines in particular, when commitment in general comes up, it often is, you're conditioned to have that mixed in with conflict. And that's not even the kind of commitment that I'm going to talk about. So if you found yourself either avoiding this video because it was about commitment, or up to this point in the video you were worried about what kind of commitments I'm going to talk about, then you got some shadow work to do, mister. Because the kinds of commitments I'm talking about are primarily making commitments to yourself, which are the highest importance. They are the most valuable commitments. And really, if you can't make a commitment to yourself and keep it, you can't make commitments to anybody else and keep them. That's how it works. And the other thing too is you need to be able to learn how to release commitments that either no longer serve you, like maybe they were necessary at first, maybe you needed them in order to take a leap of faith and get yourself into a better position. That's okay, but if they no longer serve you anymore, it's time to release them, because you're only hurting yourself and anyone else involved by keeping them going. There's also plenty of times, and especially during the divine partnership journey, where you're going to recognize that you made commitments to people that were not being genuine with you. They were karmics, no judgment on it. Let it go. But if you got into a commitment and it turned out to be more than you signed up for, that means that two things happened. One, you were not fully clear about what you really had in mind, so you attracted somebody who was not fully clear about it. You were both being deceitful, even if it was just a matter of not being fully authentic about who you were, or if it was a matter of, in that early limerence stage, you were trying to pretend to be better than the person, like, not better, but like you were trying to hide your darknesses. And in doing so, you stole time away from each other and not allowing each other to see who you really were. Either way, the heart of this journey is releasing your karmics. And it's something that empresses have to do too. But for masculines, typically it's more about the act of making commitments and releasing commitments. For empresses, it's more just the releasing of things. Whereas for masculines and emperors, it's about, like, commitments are such well, it's like they're overemphasized in their importance, but they're also often taken for granted. And as a divine masculine keeps his promises for the most part, but he also values and recognizes the importance and the ability of changing his mind, in admitting when he's either made mistakes or when he's been keeping himself stuck in toxic commitments that need to be released. There's a great value in that, and a really mature person is able to recognize the value in and importance in being the kind of person who can say, you know what, this isn't what I want. Even if it is what you signed up for, if you just realize in your growth that it's not what you wanted, the ability to just say that without being a dick. I mean, you might have to be anyways, but at least to make that first effort of simply saying, this isn't what I want. I thought it was what I wanted, and it's not what I want. That's a mature thing to be able to do, or to be able to make a commitment to yourself to do the things that likely your divine empress, your divine feminine, has been suggesting you do. Eat better, take care of yourself, read a fiction book every once in a while, keep up with not necessarily the news, but do things to expand your mind and your consciousness, or get spiritual, or stretch your imagination, try new things, you know, like make a commitment to yourself to do the things that are good for you and commit to doing them for you. Don't do them just because you want to be reunited with your empress. Don't do them because, you know, somebody else asked you to do it. Do it because you will feel like a wonderful person. You will feel mature. You will feel in alignment. And when you feel mature and in alignment, then you feel adequate and you feel self-worth. And when you feel those things, you are free to actually be quite playful and fun. And that's so attractive. And I mean, I did a video about what women, you know, top 3 qualities that women find attractive in a man. And I did that for this purpose, because one of the most attractive things is for a guy who can give and receive advice, and who can admit when he's wrong, and not take it as like, and not take it and treat it as a sword that he stabs himself with. Just, you know what, I was wrong, and I see how I've hurt you, and I'm making a commitment to myself to no longer be that person anymore, and I'm going to treat commitments to myself as the most important thing ever. So that I know within myself that when I make bigger commitments to other people, especially, you know, to my divine feminine, whether I know her now or I'm excited to meet her in the future, that I will uphold them. That there isn't anything else that can break them off unless I recognize I'm with a karmic and I decide to break it off. Because when I can hold commitments to myself, I can keep commitments to others. Especially because a truly healthy commitment is one where you are able to love yourself and the person you're committing to. You know, that, like, oftentimes we get in situations where we make commitments to love other people to the detriment of ourselves, and those are not healthy commitments in any way, shape, or form. You need to be able to make commitments where you love yourself and the person you're committing to. And later on, when we do get to the point of talking about the big C in terms of higher commitments, relationships, marriage, things like that, then you will be in a state where it will feel easy and exciting and desirable, and you will see how much fun there is to be had in the rest of life. But for right now, considering that you are still coming out of the dark night of the soul stages, just work on making commitments to yourself and keeping them. Loving yourself, doing self-care, not letting other people mistreat you even if they meant well. Because remember, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and often we pave our own roads to our own self-made hell by allowing ourselves to go, oh, well, they didn't mean it, or they have this problem and so they can't help it, or how many excuses do you need? Just say no. You don't need an explanation for no. End toxic commitments, make healthy commitments to yourself, and do your shadow work in terms of anything that scares you about higher commitments. Even if you never get into one or you decide you really don't want them, it's still not good to hold on to those fears. So work on it and reach out to me if you'd like some assistance. That's what I'm here for.